Mobility Monday. I'm just about to start my workout for today. I hope you will join me for that. And then stick around so that you can try this week's Monday Mobility Challenge with me as well. As always, there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, please go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So first of all today, this is what you're going to need for this workout: an exercise mat or a yoga mat. I'm just using my jump rope mat. Any kind of exercise mat will work. If you do not have a mat, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all, but you are going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So a yoga mat or an exercise mat is ideal, but if not, you may be able to make do with just a towel. Other than my mat, the only thing I'm using today is a broomstick. So grab a broomstick if you have one. You could also, if you have an exercise band, that would be ideal, but a broomstick will work just as well. That's what I'm using. Or you really can just grab a towel for this as well. Just roll it up or fold it up so that you can grab a hold of it the way I'm grabbing a hold of my broomstick. But that's it. That's all you're going to need for this workout if you are working out along with the video, because if you're working out along with the video, you can just use my timer. If you're going to watch the tutorial so that you know how to do the workout and then go and do the workout on your own, then you're going to need either an interval timer or you'll need to download an interval timer app for your phone, because we are on intervals today. So this is going to be another Tabata-style workout. Tabata means 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals times 8 rounds. That's 4 minutes. So there are 5 different exercises. We're going to spend 4 minutes on each exercise for a total of 20 minutes. Also, you may have noticed that I have my jump rope out here today as well. I am not including jump rope in the workout itself, but I just wanted to let you know that I will be adding on 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope immediately after the workout. So I'm going to reset my timer. It's going to stay on 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals, but I'm going to reset it for 40 rounds. So that's 20 minutes unbroken. And I have Victoria here. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with the pretty light pink metallic handles. I'm gonna get some music going and just do 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio immediately following this 20-minute Tabata-style mobility workout. And then I'll finish after my jump rope. I'll do about 30 minutes or so of stretching. I do the same stretching routine every single day after my workout, and it takes me about 30 minutes or so. So that is what my workout is going to look like today, but I'm not going to be sharing the jump rope portion of the workout because it's completely optional and you don't have to jump rope. You can jump rope on your own if you want, that's great. But if not, if you want to add cardio after the workout, it can be any type of moderate pace cardio you want. You could go for a jog or a bike ride or a nice long hike, or if you have an exercise bike or a treadmill or something like that, you can hop on one of those for 20-30 minutes if you want. So it's not technically part of the workout, but it's part of my workout today, so I just thought I would share that with you. But the actual workout is just going to be 20 minutes of Tabata-style mobility training. So we're doing 5 exercises, all focusing on mobility. So let's quickly go through each of these 5 exercises that we are doing today so that we can go ahead and get into the workout. We're starting with this kind of butterfly hip opener exercise. So you're going to start by coming down onto your mat and you're going to get yourself into a butterfly pose. So you're going to bend both of your knees and you're going to press the bottoms of your feet together like this. Now in this pose, the goal is to try to get your knees down as close to the mat as you can. If your hips are not very open, then your knees might be up here and that's fine. It might help to grab a hold of your ankles. So grabbing a hold of the front of my ankles and then just use your elbows to kind of press your knees down towards the mat. Just make sure, please, with all of these exercises and with everything, with all of my workouts, every exercise we ever do, make sure you're working to your own level. Okay, please do not push your body into doing anything it is not ready to do. So you can gently apply a little bit of pressure, but please don't force your body into doing something that it's not ready for yet. But that might help you to start opening up your hips a little bit more if you want to grab a hold of your ankles and just kind of use your elbows to gently press your knees down as close to the mat as you can. All right, so from here, this is a little tricky, all right? So don't worry, I will be providing modifications if you cannot do this, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one foot and I'm going to slide it around like this so that I end up in this kind of 90-90 position, okay? So both knees are at more or less a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to come up onto my knees. So I'm going to lift myself up onto my knees, and now I'm going to take my other foot and slide it around in the same direction. So it's going to follow in the same direction that this foot just went in. I'm going to slide this foot behind me, and now I'm going to take this foot and continue around in the same direction. So I'm sliding this foot all the way behind me until it comes all the way underneath me again like this. It's hard to do in slow motion. And then I'm going to continue in the same motion, sliding my other foot around so that my feet meet in the middle again and I'm back in my butterfly pose. Okay, so all I did is take each leg and just make a circle with each foot. Both of my circles went in the same direction. Okay, so now I'm gonna repeat that in the other direction. So the first time I led with this foot, this time I'll lead with the opposite foot, but it's the same exercise. So I'm going to take this foot and slide it behind me. Now I'm going to come up onto my knees and both feet are sliding around in a circle in the same direction. So now this foot is going to come underneath me. This foot is going to continue around and I'm going to end up in my butterfly pose again. Okay, so I'm just going to alternate sides with each rep. So now I'm leading with this foot, slide the foot around, up onto the knees, butterfly pose, opposite direction. Slide the foot around, come up onto the knees, this foot slides under, the other foot slides around to meet in the middle. Okay, so that's going to be what I'm doing for my 20-second work interval. With each 10-second rest interval, I'm going to rest in my butterfly pose. And I'm not just gonna chill out in butterfly pose. You really can if you want. It's a rest interval, so if you want to just relax everything and rest, great. If you don't want to be in butterfly pose, if it's too difficult, you can come out of it. Okay, but I'm going to be really kind of working my butterfly pose, so it's not really a rest interval. I'm just going to kind of hang out here in my butterfly pose, grabbing onto my ankles and pressing my knees down as close to the mat as I can. All right, so butterfly pose to rest, and then kind of that kind of windshield wiper motion with the legs during the 20-second work interval. Make sense? So if that is too difficult for you, then here's what you can do. You can just do 90-90. So you can start, instead of having your feet together, you can start more in this position. I'll come over this way. So you can start here so that both of your legs are about at a 90-degree angle and they're kind of staggered like this, and you can just switch the position of your knees. So just picking up your knees and doing these kind of windshield wiper back and forth. All right, if that is too difficult, you can do the same thing using your hands to support you. So maybe show you from here. You can lean back with your hands, and then you can do the same exercise with your hands behind you to support you a little bit. And if you cannot get your knees all the way down, it's fine. Just get as close as you can. So you might be here, that's fine, but you're just working on opening up your hips. All right, so any kind of variation on either one of those exercises is great. And you can opt for kind of an active rest like I'm doing, resting in my butterfly pose, or if it's too much, you can just rest completely during your 10-second rest intervals. Okay, but that is my first exercise. My next exercise, I'm going to be doing an Asian squat. Now, for me, this is not difficult, but a lot of people really have difficulty accessing this position. So just do your best. If you absolutely cannot get all the way down into the squat, you really can hold on to something to assist you. I'll show you that in just a second. But if you are able to squat all the way down, if you're familiar with what an Asian squat is, first of all, you want to make sure you're keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels. So tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets, keep your chest lifted nice and high. And now hinge at the hips. Make sure your abs stay super strong and tight and engaged the whole time as you come down into your squat. And what you want to do is squat super duper low, so that your booty is all the way down, lower than your knees and almost touching the mat if you can, okay? Come down as low as you can. And then from here, I'm just going to come up onto my toes and then back down. So I'm lifting my heels, coming up really onto the balls of my feet, and then lowering the heels, making sure that the movement is under control, especially on the way down, okay? So I'm lifting with control, and then I'm not just dropping my heels down, I'm lowering them down with control. You do not have to go that slowly. I won't be going that slowly. I'm just demonstrating that the movement should be under control as much as you can. All right, so this is pretty difficult. But I'll show you a modification, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And then similar to the first exercise, I'm going to be taking kind of an active rest. So during my 10-second rest intervals, you can completely rest during the rest intervals, that's fine. During my 10-second rest intervals, I'm going to rest down here in my Asian squat. And what I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to take my elbows and press my knees out to the side. And while I do that, I have my feet still facing forward, okay? So I'm not allowing my feet to turn out. My feet are facing straight forward, but as I do that, I'm just pushing my knees out to the side. My feet are flat on the mat, pointing forward. My back is still flat, okay? I'm not rounding my back. I'll show you from the side. I'm not rounding my back. I'm still keeping my chest lifted nice and high. My back is flat as I'm pressing my knees out. Again, we're opening up those hips with this, okay? So that's going to be my rest, my 10-second rest intervals. And with each 20-second work intervals, I'm going to be coming up onto the balls of my feet, lifting those heels, and then lowering with control, okay? Tougher than it looks. You may be able to hold on to something for support. So you could use, this post really is kind of ideal for this. You can really use something like this to assist you, so that if you are unable to sink really deep into your squat like this, it might be really helpful to use a pole or something like this to assist you, okay? So that is an option if you can find something like this that you can grab onto, something really strong and sturdy. Obviously, this is holding up this entire awning. So it's strong enough to hold my body weight, it's not going anywhere. So if you can find something like that, that can really help you if you're unable to sink deep enough into your squat to really try this exercise. And so once you've gotten as deep as you can in your squat, you can just do your heel raises like this. So I just happen to have this post right here. I'm trying to think, if you're working out like in your living room or something, what you could use. Of course, if you want to take this workout like to the park or something, a park bench would be great because those are like in the ground, they're not going anywhere. A park bench would work great for this, or a tree. So if you want to take your workout to the park or the beach or the hiking trail or something, I'm sure you could find something. If you're at home, your staircase, so like the arm of your staircase would absolutely work for this. You might be able to use your dining room table maybe, perhaps. What else? Oh, your bedpost, or maybe even the door, okay? Maybe you could grab a hold of the doorknob or something like that, or a doorway, okay? So kind of think of what you have around your house, or if you want to take this workout to the park or something, a park bench, but just kind of think of what you could use for support. But I think that's a great option if you're a beginner or if you just can't really get down very deep into that squat. Using something to support you like this and assist you in the squat will really help. And then from here you can do your calf raises, okay? So I think that's a great option. So let's move on to the next exercise. For the next exercise, we are doing the world's greatest stretch. That's not my opinion necessarily, that's just what it's called. So we're going to come down onto the mat, start with one foot all the way towards the front of your mat, take your opposite foot and step it back. And now you're going to bend both knees until this back knee is all the way down on the mat, and you're going to rest your back leg on the mat as well. Now, you're going to lean forward in the stretch, and you're going to take this elbow, the elbow that's on the same side as your front leg, and you're going to place your elbow on the inside of your knee and press that knee out. Okay, so again, my foot is facing forward, and I am able to keep my foot flat on the mat for this. It is okay if your foot comes like this so that only the outside of your foot is on the mat, that's fine. But if you're able to keep your foot flat on the mat, do that. Okay, again, just work to your own level. Don't push your body into doing anything it's not ready to do. But you're just going to take your elbow and gently press your knee out. All right, so it's very similar to what we were doing in our butterfly pose, using our elbows to press our knees down to the mat. This is kind of the same concept, but from a lunge position. So that is how I'm going to spend my rest intervals. When it comes time for the actual work interval, I'm going to be picking up this back knee. So I'm here for my rest interval. Now I'm going to pick up my back knee. So I'm going to curl my toes under and lift this back knee. And then I'm going to take this elbow, the elbow that's on the same side as this front leg, the one I was just using to press my knee out. I'm going to take this elbow and I'm going to bring it down to the mat like this. And then I'm going to twist my body thoracically, bringing that arm up over my head. And I have my other hand on the mat for support, okay? So we're resting. Now I'm going to place my free hand down. I'm going to take this elbow, curl my toes under, straighten the leg, and now I'm going to bring this elbow down to the mat and extend the arm up overhead. Tap the mat and twist. Elbow to mat, arm extended overhead and twist. I will show you from the front so you can see what I'm doing with my forearm. So from the front, it's going to look like this. Starting here with my knee on the mat, I'm going to be pressing this knee out towards the wall on that side of me with my elbow for my rest interval. And then for my work interval, I'm going to curl the back toes under, straighten that leg, pick the knee up off the mat, and I'm going to take this arm and tap my elbow, and I have my entire forearm flat on the mat. That's what you're going for. And then I'm going to twist and reach the arm straight up overhead. All right? So elbow to the mat and twist. Just like that. If it is too difficult to lift that back knee up off the mat, you can keep the knee down to assist you. That's absolutely fine. So starting here, you're going to be here. If you want to take the active rest with me, you're going to be here pressing this knee out. And then when it comes time for the work interval, you can keep this back knee on the mat and just tap your elbow down. Get it as close to the mat as you can, and then twist, okay? So you can absolutely keep that back knee on the mat to assist you if that makes it easier for you. If you are unable to get your elbow all the way down, just get it as close to the mat as you can, okay? Work to your own level. But that is the third exercise. I think that modification will make it accessible to most beginners, but as always, if you need any further help with beginner modifications, please just ask. I'm always happy to help with that. But the next exercise is going to be scorpions. So I'm going to come down onto my mat on my belly. And I'm going to extend my arms out to the side like this. And then what I'm going to do is just bend one knee. And now I'm going to lift the knee up off the mat. And I'm going to twist and tap my knee down to the side, or tap my toes down to the side. And then just reverse the movement, come back to my belly. All right, I'm going to be alternating sides. So now I'm going to bend the other knee, twist, and tap. So we're working on our back now. We're working on spinal mobility, okay? So just alternating sides, bend the knee, lift the knee up off the mat, and now bring it across to the other side of your body. And if you are unable to tap the ground with your toes, that's fine. Just get as close as you can. And come back. Straighten the leg. Now bend the opposite leg. Lift the knee up off the mat. And twist, bringing your toe to the opposite side. Tap it to the ground if you can. And come back, okay? It's a really simple movement, but it might be really challenging if you lack flexibility in your back. So again, just do your best. If you cannot tap your toe to the ground, just get it as far as you can. All right, so if you're here, then just be here. Do your best, okay? You just want to feel that twist. You want to feel your body twist thoracically. You want to feel that spinal twist. If that is still too difficult for you, you can do spinal twists. Okay, so you can either do them from a seated position. So you can come up and do your spinal twist from a seated position. You can have one leg straight, extended in front of you, bend the other knee and place the foot here on the outside. Place your elbow on the outside of this knee and twist like this, okay? And then just switch sides with each work interval. You can also do spinal twists down on the mat. You can come down onto your back and you can bend one knee and bring it across like this, extending your arms out to the side, and then turn your head to face the other way. See if you can tap the ground with this knee while keeping your opposite shoulder flat on the ground, and then just switch sides with each work interval. All right, so any kind of spinal twist will work, but I'm going to be doing these scorpions, and then again, I'm taking an active rest. So for each 10-second rest interval, I'm just gonna be holding a Supergirl pose. So down here on my belly, I'm just going to extend my legs straight. I'm going to extend my arms in front of me and lift. I'm lifting my chest up off the mat, and I'm lifting my legs up off the mat, and I'm going to hold here for my 10-second rest intervals. Okay, then with my next work interval, I'll extend my arms to the side, legs come down, I'll bend one knee, scorpion, back to the center, other side. And that will be my 20-second work interval. All right, so that is the fourth exercise. The fifth and final exercise, we are working on shoulder mobility, not my strong suit, but that's why we're working on it. So for this fifth and final exercise, we're going to be standing, and this is where you're going to need your broomstick or your towel or an exercise band if you have one. And you're just going to hold on to your broomstick. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I might actually even alternate my grip with each work interval. So first I'll show you this way. I'm just starting by holding my broomstick in front of me, and the backs of my hands are facing you, okay? So my palms are facing the fence behind me. The backs of my hands are facing you, and all I'm going to do is lift my broomstick up and over, bring it up and over behind me, all right? And then reverse the movement. Very simple, but if you have tight shoulders, you're gonna feel it. Now, a couple of tips. The wider your grip, the easier this will be to extend. So if you're struggling here, try moving your hands farther to the outside of your broomstick or towards the end of your towel. The other thing you want to remember is you actually want your elbows locked out for this. Okay, so arms as straight as you can possibly get them. We're not lifting anything, so you don't need to have a soft bend in your elbow like when we're doing like a lateral arm raise or something and you want to have that little bend in your elbow. For this, we actually want the straight arm. You actually want to lock out your elbows, and it's going to really help a lot with this movement. And then just remember that when you get here, when you get up to the top, this is kind of going against a lot of what I normally tell you all the times with your squats and everything. I'm always telling you, don't have your shoulders shrugged up. You want your shoulders away from the ears, push them down, push them back. For this one, it's actually going to help to shrug your shoulders, to actually let your shoulders come up by your ears. That's actually what we want because we're working on shoulder mobility. So we want to really work on using the full range of motion of our shoulders. Okay, so wide grip, lock out the elbows, and go ahead and shrug the shoulders. Bring them up by your ears towards the top, and then let them come in front of you, up by the ears, and now here's where you can have your shoulders down and back. Now, if you want to also work on your wrist mobility, you can try this in a slightly different way by, instead of starting by holding your broomstick this way, so right here, I'm holding my broomstick in front of me and the backs of my hands are facing you. What you can do is start by holding your broomstick behind you. And now my palms are facing you. The backs of my hands are facing this fence behind me. And you can start from here, bring the broomstick up and over. And now when you bring the broomstick in front of you, do you see how my arms are kind of twisted around? So it's really working your shoulders more, but it's also working your wrist mobility. So if you start like this, right, my palm is facing you. If you start holding your broomstick this way, now let go, rotate your wrist so that now your wrist is facing the wall behind you. And now let go and rotate one more time in the same direction, okay? So now the back of my hand is kind of facing the ground and my palm is facing up. And that's the grip you're going to end up in if you start with your broomstick behind you like this with your palms facing forward, okay? So my palms are facing you, the backs of my hands are facing the gate behind me. And with this grip, I'm going to lift the broomstick behind me. Remember, locking out those elbows, bring my shoulders up towards my ears to get the broomstick up and over. And so now I haven't changed my hands, and now you can see this kind of odd grip that I've got on the broomstick as I get to this point where the broomstick is in front of me. All right, so it's working on shoulder mobility for sure, but it is also, if you opt for this grip, you are also working on your wrist mobility. All right, so I think that I might alternate my grip for each work interval, just to mix it up a little bit, but you can choose one or the other. So just play around with it and choose whatever's going to work for you. Now for this exercise, all of the other exercise I had kind of an active resting pose. So for this one, I'm just going to do a forward fold for my 10-second rest intervals. You don't have to, all right? You can just shake it out and relax and not do anything for your rest intervals. I'm going to just bring my broomstick down in front of me and to a forward fold. And I'm going to spend my 10-second rest intervals in a forward fold. So you absolutely do not have to do that if you don't want to, but that is what I'm going to be doing, since for our previous 4 exercises, I've been using that 10-second rest interval to kind of just do like an active rest. So that's optional, but that's what I'm going to be doing for my rest intervals. And that's it, that's all 4 exercises. So I already kind of explained the format a little bit, but here it is once more, just to make sure everything is clear. So again, we're on intervals today. This is a Tabata workout, so that means 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 8 rounds, which is 4 minutes. We're going to spend 4 minutes on the first exercise, and then move on to the next exercise, spend 4 minutes on the next exercise, and work our way through a list of 5 exercises. So the entire workout is going to take exactly 20 minutes, plus however long it takes you to move from one exercise to the next. So it's going to end up taking a little bit more than 20 minutes. The goal is to keep it as close to 20 minutes as possible. So you want to keep your rest breaks in between exercises as short as you can, so that you keep the workout flowing and it feels like one continuous 20-minute workout as opposed to 5 teeny tiny little 4-minute workouts, all right? That being said, you should rest for as long as you need, okay? Challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks in between exercises as short as you can, but make sure your rest break is as long as you need. You should only be continuing when you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to continue the workout with good form. But we're going to be starting with our butterfly exercise. So I'm going to be alternating sides with each rep on that exercise. So all 8 work intervals will look identical. Then I'm going to be moving on. Next is my squats, my Asian squat exercise. So I'll be doing that for the next 4 minutes. With the next 4 minutes, the next exercise we're doing is the world's greatest stretch exercise. So for that one, I'm going to be staying on the same leg for the first 4 intervals. And then I'll switch legs for my final 4 intervals. Because remember, with my 10-second rest intervals, for each of these exercises, I'm taking an active rest. So I don't want to be having to switch legs for every work interval, because then I'm going to lose time off of my rest interval where I want to be working my hip flexor during that rest interval. So it's going to be more efficient with using the rest intervals the way I am. It's going to be more efficient to stay on one leg for the first 4 intervals and then switch for the second 4 intervals. Now, the next exercise is scorpion. For that, I'll just alternate sides with each rep. So I don't need to worry about switching sides with each work interval. Each work interval will look the same. And then for my 5th and final exercise, that's our shoulder mobility exercise. So for that one, I think I'm going to switch my grip with each work interval, but I'm not going to really lose anything off of my rest interval. And you don't have to switch grips if you want. You can just pick whichever grip works best for you and stick with that one. But that's it, okay? So 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds work times 8 rounds. That's how you're going to have your timer set. And you're going to do one exercise at a time. So 4 minutes on each exercise before moving on to the next one. And if you want to do an active rest interval with me, you can do that. If not, you can just rest and do nothing during your rest intervals, okay? But that's it, that's the format. So hopefully that's all clear. Remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions, in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing today, or if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, please just ask. It is incredibly important that you understand what you are asking your body to do. You have to understand the movement before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury and just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it is also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help with beginner modifications. And please remember also, especially if you're working out along with the video, to please work to your own level, make modifications if you need to. Do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. And please don't sacrifice your form for speed. All right, we're on intervals. So yes, the goal is to complete as many reps as possible during each work interval, but not at the expense of your form. The goal is to complete your reps cleanly. All right, if you're doing a bunch of sloppy reps, that's not going to be as effective as doing fewer reps with better form, and you're also increasing the likelihood of injury. So please make sure that you're minding your form. Don't sacrifice your form for speed. So just go at your own pace. If you're faster than I am and you're able to complete more reps during the work interval, great. Be faster than I am as long as you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you're slower than I am, that's fine. It doesn't matter how many reps you get done. What matters is that you're doing your reps correctly and that you're doing your best. All right, remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. And if you need to pause and rest in between each exercise, if I'm moving on too quickly for you, pause the video and come back when you're ready. I will be here. I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready to continue with good form and you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina that you're able to continue with proper form, then come back and we can continue together, all right? So just make sure that you are going at your own pace and working to your own level. Please be smart. Be safe, use your common sense, listen to your body. I think that's it. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, go ahead and grab a broomstick or maybe a towel. An exercise band is great if you have one, but if not, a broomstick or a towel will work just fine. I'm using a broomstick. Make sure you have something soft beneath you, like an exercise mat or a yoga mat. Again, if you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice, and if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Go ahead and pause the video, get dressed, and then meet me right back here. We're going to start by doing a quick 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get our reps done together. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just resting your hand there and allowing the weight of your arm. You're allowing gravity to do all of the work so that just the weight of your arm is gently stretching the opposite side of your neck. And now we're going to switch sides. So allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Next, we're going to do some neck rolls. So you're going to start by just allowing your chin to fall towards your chest and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, you're going to just feel your head start getting heavier and heavier. And with each roll, you're expanding your range of motion. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll, and you're just letting your entire torso kind of fall in front of you. Shoulder rolls are next. So just making big circles with your shoulders. Really explore your full range of motion. Make the circles as big as you can. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So you're going to extend your arms out to the side and start by just making small circles. But little by little, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you possibly can. Now step your feet out so that they're a bit wider than hip width apart. Bend your knees and kind of sweep your hands down in front of you. And as you straighten the legs, you're reaching up as high as you can. Each time you bend your knees, you're gonna start expanding your range of motion, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're just going to lunge side to side, nice and easy, adding the arms. So with each lunge, you're stretching that arm across your body. It should feel like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Now step the feet in. We're going to march. So bring your feet into the center and just march, starting with your knees low, but gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes, and now we're gonna do the same thing with a jog. So just a nice light jog, starting with the knees low, but gradually you're going to start driving your knees up, higher and higher towards your chest until you're driving your knees up as high as you can. Next is booty kicks. So it's still just a nice light jog, but with each step, you're bringing your foot up behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. Now for this next one, you might need to hold on to a chair or the wall for support. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips. You're going to transfer your weight into one leg, pick up the opposite foot, and just swing the leg. Swing it in front of you, swing it behind you nice and loose. We're going to switch sides. So put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the opposite foot, and just swing the leg. You can start low, and then gradually, as the interval progresses, you can start expanding your range of motion, kicking the leg higher in front of you, higher behind you. Now extend one foot out in front, and you're just going to make a little semicircle, bringing the leg around and behind you. And with each semicircle, you're lifting your leg higher and higher until finally you're going to drive the knee up in front of you and guide it around with your hand. Other side. Extend the leg out in front of you and just make a semicircle, bringing the leg around and behind you, lifting that leg higher and higher until finally you're going to drive that knee up in front of you and guide it around with your hand for a hip circle. Lastly, we're going to do a quick hamstring stretch. So holding on to a chair or the wall like this is going to make it a little bit easier, maybe a little more comfortable to get into this stretch. You want to keep your back as flat as possible here so that you really feel that stretch intensifying your hamstrings. It's going to help you isolate your hamstrings, make the stretch much more effective. All right, that's it. That is our 5-minute warm up. So let's go ahead and get into the workout. All right, so you guys, real quickly, I dropped my timer and can you hear this? That thing that you hear shaking around in there is the down button. All right, so what that means is that I can't set this correctly for the workout because luckily it's already set for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals, but it's set for 40 rounds and we need 8 rounds. So what that means is that I'm just gonna have to count, all right? So the timer's not gonna do the long series of beeps to tell me when I'm finished with each exercise. We just have to count 8 rounds of each exercise, okay? So wish me luck that I don't mess that up, but what can you do? I just went to reset it and it fell and The little down arrow is not working because that's the button floating around in there that makes the numbers go down. So what are you gonna do? So anyway, we're just gonna have to keep track. We're doing each exercise for 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds work times 8 rounds. So we're just gonna have to count 8 rounds, okay? We'll see. Counting is not my strong suit, as you know, if you follow my workouts regularly. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But we are starting with our butterfly exercise. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Remember, I am doing active rest intervals. So as soon as I start my timer, we're going to start here in our butterfly pose, really working that pose, okay? So pressing the knees down towards the mat and really feeling that stretch, feeling those hips open up, okay? You wanna feel this in your hip flexors. All right, so as soon as you're ready, here we go. We're starting with 10 seconds rest. So you can rest and do nothing if you want, or you can take this active rest interval with me. So come down to your mat, press the bottoms of your feet together, and as soon as you're ready, here we go. Starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is our 10-second rest interval, working that butterfly pose, pressing the bottoms of your feet together, grabbing onto your ankles and using your elbows to press your knees down towards the mat. And now for our 20-second work interval, you're dragging this foot behind you, come up to the knees, and bring the other foot around, meet in the middle. Back to our butterfly. So I have to keep track, that was 1. We have to do that 7 more times. Okay, that was 3. Pressing those knees down towards the mat. And now sliding one foot around, come up onto the knees. Slide both feet around in the same direction, feet meet in the middle in your butterfly pose. Now opposite direction. That was 4, right? Oh my gosh. I guess it's not the end of the world if I end up doing a few extra reps, but trying to keep this so that it is technically a Tabata workout. We're doing each exercise for 4 minutes. So I think this is our 5th round. Let's call that 5. Let's say we're gonna do 3 more. Of course I lost track. I don't know if that was 7 or 8, so let's do 1 more. And we're done with our first exercise. So next we are moving on to our squats. So this is going to be an Asian squat with a calf raise. All right, so we'll take this next 20 seconds to rest, like for real rest. And then as soon as the timer beeps again, that's our 10-second rest interval, like our active rest interval, okay? So as soon as the timer beeps, we're gonna come down into our Asian squat. And then remember, if you're taking an active rest with me, you're using your elbows to press your knees out. Do your best to keep your feet facing forward. It's okay if they're angled out a little bit, but try to keep them facing forward if you can. And make sure that you're keeping them flat on the mat as you press out. Press your knees out with your elbows. Keep your feet flat on the mat and facing forward. And remember to keep your back flat. Don't round your back. And I have to remember to keep track of my count. So this is our second work interval. So lifting those heels with control and lowering them back down with control. That was 2, right? Active rest. I think that was our 4th work interval. I think we're halfway there. That was 5. I'm gonna do 3 more. So working on ankle mobility, working on strengthening the feet, and then working on opening up those hips as we're resting. So I think that was 6. So I believe this is it. This should be our final work interval. I know that was super tough, but I'm almost 100% sure that that was 8. So I think we're done with that. Whew. I think I'm gonna go out of order. So when I explained the format, I said the next exercise was going to be the world's greatest stretch, but I think that it's going to make more sense to do our scorpion now before we go into world's greatest stretch, because those squats were so taxing, and I think that our legs and our calves could probably use a rest, and our quads. So let's do scorpions next. I think that is going to make more sense, and I think that it will make, when we do the world's greatest stretch, it's going to make that more, I'm going to be able to get more out of it because I'll be able to perform the exercise better. All right, so let's go ahead and take one more interval to rest. All right, so in another 15 seconds, I'm going to start our scorpion exercise, but remember that we start with our 10-second rest interval. So I'm going to be using my rest interval to do my Supergirl pose. So this is our 10-second rest interval. If you're doing an active rest with me, you can come up here in Supergirl pose and hold. And then for our work interval, you're going to extend your arms out to the side, bend one knee, twist, and tap the toe onto the ground if you can. If you can't tap the ground with your toe, it's fine. Just get as close as you can. And now this is our 10-second rest interval. Why did that sound weird? So holding our Supergirl pose, and now arms out to the side, bend one knee, twist, and tap. Okay, that was 2, I have to keep track. I can feel myself slowly traveling in reverse with each interval, so I'm just going to scooch up a little bit. I think that was 4. So we have to do this 4 more times, including this time that we're on right now. So 3 more after this. That was 6. Let's do 2 more. I'm pretty sure that was 8, but I also know that there was one of those rest intervals where I forgot to hold my Supergirl, and another one where I lost a few seconds off of my Supergirl because I was scooching forward. So just doing one more 10-second Supergirl hold, and I'm pretty sure that was at least 8 rounds of that exercise. So that should be 4 minutes on that. So we're done. So that means we've done 4 minutes of butterfly, 4 minutes of squats. We skipped over world's greatest stretch, so we'll go back to that now. We've already done our scorpion. So we're gonna skip back. We're gonna do world's greatest stretch. That'll be our 4th exercise, and then we'll finish up with our broomstick, our shoulder opener. All right, so let's take another 30 seconds of rest. So another 20 seconds. So let's get ready. You're gonna come towards the front of your mat. You're gonna step back with one foot and then come down onto your knee, placing the top of your foot down on the mat. And now get ready. We're going to take this elbow and use it to press that knee out, keeping your foot facing forward, and keep it flat on the mat if you can. Now place this hand down for support. You're going to lean down and tap your forearm onto the mat. And then you're gonna twist your body thoracically and stretch that arm up overhead. Feeling that twist in your spine. And now with our rest interval, I'm taking an active rest, staying on the same leg. So just pressing, using my elbow to press that knee out. And now hand goes down, tap the elbow, and twist and reach. This is our 2nd time on this side, so we're gonna do twice more on this side, and then we'll switch sides. Oh, you know what? I've been forgetting to pick up that back knee. Oh well, that's the beginner modification. I'll do the last 2 with my, so curl the toes under, bring the knee up, tap the elbow, and twist. You can keep the knee down if you want. One more time on this leg and then we'll switch. So knee down. So that was 4 on that side. Now I'm going to switch legs. So bringing the other foot forward. And now curling the toe under, tapping that forearm down. So actually I should do it the same way I did it on the first side, just so I'm even. So I'll alternate. I'm making this so much more complicated than it needs to be. All right, so using the elbow to press that knee out. And now, keeping your knee down like this is your modification. It's a bit easier if you keep that back knee on the mat the entire time. So I'm gonna do 2 intervals like this on this side, just so that I end up even on both sides. Because I did my first 2 intervals this way on the other leg, because I just forgot to pick up my back knee. So I'm doing 2 intervals this way on this side just to even it out. But for my last interval, I'm going to curl the toes under and pick up that back knee. Okay, so we're just ignoring that. We have one more interval to do on this side. All right, so the timer did that long series of beeps because that was the end of the 20 minutes that I had programmed in there because I can't adjust it the way I want to. So that's why you just had to kind of like ignore that. So we just have one exercise left, and that is our shoulder mobility exercise. So for this one, I'm spending my 10-second rest intervals in a forward fold. That is optional. And I'm going to be starting by holding my broomstick in front of me with the backs of my hands facing forward. And for my first work interval, I'm going to be moving my broomstick this way. With the next work interval, I'm going to start with my broomstick behind me, palms facing forward. So now the backs of my hands are facing this gate behind me, and I'm going to do this more difficult variation so that I'm also testing my wrist mobility. All right, so whatever grip you want to use is fine, and if you want to do what I'm doing, I'm alternating grips with each work interval. So whatever's gonna work for you is absolutely fine. So we'll give it another 30 seconds. So just shake it out. All right, so 20 seconds. And we're starting with a 10-second rest interval. So grab your broomstick, however you're gonna have it for your first work interval, and then get ready to do your forward fold if you are doing a forward fold with me for your active rest interval. So this is our 10-second rest interval. If you want to come down into a forward fold with me, just get a little extra hamstring stretch. And now stand and bring that broomstick up and over, around and behind you. Remember, you actually want to lock out your elbows for this. And you want to go ahead and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears as you bring the broomstick up. So now I'm in my forward fold. I'm going to go ahead and bring my broomstick behind me because for the next work interval, I'm switching my grip. Starting with the broomstick behind me. Switching my grip again, coming down to my forward fold. So that's 2. That was 4. 4 more. That's it. I'm pretty sure that was 8 rounds. So that's 4 minutes. And that is our 20 minutes of Tabata-style mobility HIIT. We are not quite finished yet. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let me set my broom aside. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you are ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. And that's it. The workout is now officially complete. So let's just go ahead and do a quick cool down. Just want to keep moving for a couple minutes after the workout. Keep the circulation going while you allow your breathing to normalize, while you allow your heart rate to come down. So let's just do a quick shoulder stretch. Should feel great. Those shoulders should feel nice and open after that last exercise. So just bringing one arm across your body, using the other arm to pull it in towards your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulders are completely relaxed so you can feel that stretch. Shake it out. Other side, bring the opposite arm across your body. Use your other arm to pull it in towards your chest. Make sure you're focusing on taking nice, controlled, deep, cleansing breaths. And again, make sure that your shoulder is nice and relaxed. If your shoulder's hunched up here by your ears and the muscles all tense, you're not going to be able to stretch it. Your muscle has to be relaxed in order to get the benefit of the stretch. Shake it out. Let's get those triceps really quickly. So just bend one elbow, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull that elbow towards the opposite shoulder. So I'm just gently pulling this elbow towards this shoulder. Make sure that your free hand is completely relaxed. And make sure your fingers are pointing down towards the ground. You don't want this hand hanging out up here somewhere. Should be pointing straight down towards the ground. That arm should be completely relaxed. So shake it out. Let's get the triceps on the other side. So bend the opposite elbow. Place your hand on your elbow and just gently pull that elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feeling that stretch in the triceps. You can keep kind of pacing around while you do this. Shake out the legs, or you can do what I do. I tend to just kind of shift my weight from side to side. Just make sure that you're continuing to move your body. Just keep the circulation going while you allow your breathing to normalize. Feel that heart rate coming down. Make sure you're focusing on your breath. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's do a quick quad stretch. So you can hold on to something for support if you need to. Just going to bend one knee, bring that foot up behind you, and now reach back with both hands. Grab the top of your foot and press your heel into your booty cheek. Make sure you're also tilting your pelvis forward while you do this. So kind of tucking your booty underneath you, suck that belly button back towards your spine. And let's switch legs. So bending the opposite knee, bring the foot up behind you. Reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. Make sure while you're doing that you're also tucking your booty under. Try to touch your spine with your belly button, okay? So tilting that pelvis forward as you continue to press your heel into your booty cheek. And as soon as you combine those two things, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles as you isolate those quad muscles a little bit more effectively. All right, so That's it. That's our little cool down. One more time, just shake out the legs, shake out the hands, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit. If you feel like you're still breathing kind of heavily and your heart rate is not back down to your normal resting heart rate yet, then you can take a couple more minutes to cool down. You can continue just kind of pacing around a little bit. You can do a little more light stretching. And once you feel that you are sufficiently cooled down, you can go ahead and try this week's Monday mobility challenge with me. All right, so I found another mobility challenge on Instagram. I'm looking at it now. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at so that you can see what it looks like and you understand what we are about to try. All right, so I will be honest, I do not see what could possibly be challenging about this, but we have all these like elite gymnasts that apparently cannot do this. So maybe there's something I'm missing, but looks like all they are doing is you're starting on your back with your legs extended straight in front of you and your arms extended out to the side, and then you're just sitting up, right? So she's able to do it with ease, and then we have this guy who's some kind of four-time NCAA champion, and he's able to do it with his arms extended overhead and someone holding his feet, but now we have this pro gymnast who is really struggling to do this. So maybe I'm missing something, maybe it's a lot harder than it looks, but finally he got it. So that's the challenge. I'm a little worried that this one's going to be just way too easy, like ridiculously easy for me, but obviously it's not easy for everyone. So again, maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna go into it thinking this is gonna be a breeze and I'm not gonna be able to do it. So we'll find out together. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so let's start by coming down onto the mat. And then I'm just going to lie on my back with my legs extended straight and my arms extended right out to the side. And now all we're going to do, right, is just sit up. Like, that's too easy. Are you guys, is anyone struggling with this? To me, this is way too easy, right? How is this not like just a sit up? I don't understand how it could possibly be that gymnasts were struggling, like professional gymnasts and NCAA level athletes were struggling to do this, right? To just sit up. All right, yeah, that was too easy. That was too easy for me. I kind of thought that might happen. So let's choose another one because like I know that obviously it's not easy for everyone, and I'm sorry if you're struggling with it. I don't mean to belittle that, but for me it was just too easy, and I want something that's going to challenge me at least a little bit more. So I'm gonna look for another one real quick. And I remember seeing another one. I'll have to find it. Let me show you the other one that I just thought of, and then maybe we can kind of combine the two. Okay, so here's the other one I was thinking of. I found it. Let's go ahead and watch this one together, and then I think that these will both kind of work together, and I can just kind of combine them into one mobility challenge. All right, so it says only men can do this, or it was told only men can do this. Clearly that is ridiculous, but he is able to do it with ease, and she obviously cannot do it. So we'll see what happens when I try it. But basically, okay, so you just have your hands clasped together. He's stepping one foot through, then the other foot. Now his hands are clasped together behind him, and then you're just standing. And she is able to do the first part, but as you can see, she is not able to stand. So you have to keep your hands clasped behind you as you stand. And I do remember doing something similar to this, but we were down on the mat. I was doing it from a seated position, and I do remember that at first I was having a lot of difficulty, but I kind of got the hang of it. So I'm thinking that, okay, now the sweater's coming off. Clearly that was the issue. The sweater was holding her back. So now she should be able to, no, yeah, not quite. All right, so kind of silly. All right, so obviously she can't do it, but he was able to do it he made it look very easy. So we're gonna give this a shot and see what happens. There was a mobility challenge that we did before where I remember we were seated on the mat and doing something kind of similar. And when I went to do it, I was like, oh my gosh, like my booty cheeks don't fit through. So I have a feeling that I might encounter a similar obstacle today, but I was able to get the seated version of this. So I think I should be able to do this one, but we'll see what happens. So I'm thinking that what I'm gonna do is combine those two. So I'm going to start lying on my back. I'll do that little sit up and then I'll come to stand. So we'll add a little difficulty. We'll come to stand without using our arms to assist us. How about that? And then we'll go into this. I think we can kind of thread these two together into something a little bit more challenging. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I think that we start all the way down here on the mat with our arms extended out to the side and our legs extended straight. And now from here, how about we do the little sit up and then bring the arms together, or the hands together. We can clasp our hands in front. And now let's say we add a little challenge here of getting up without using our hands, okay? So from here, clasp the hands together in front, and then we're gonna have to bend our knees and come forward, all right? And then come up without using our hands, all right? So I can't do it in slow motion, but we'll do that. We'll see if we can get here. And then stand. And then from there, we'll move into the thing the guy was doing. Okay, so we'll thread our feet through one at a time, one foot, and then the other foot. And then let's see if I can stand. He made it look so easy. And yeah, I can do it. I think the whole like, oh, men can do it and women can't. Yeah, women tend to have like wider hips and that's a little bit of an obstacle, but I think I'm gonna be able to do this one because I just kind of did it. So for me, actually, the thing that's gonna be difficult is the thing I'm adding, the way I'm kind of combining the two together, that little get up without using the hands. So that's gonna require some skill, but I think I can do it. It's going to be difficult to do without any momentum because we do an exercise similar to that. I've done an exercise similar to that in many workouts, but I do it slightly differently. So the way I'm trying to do this, normally when I do a sit-up, get-up, I'm kind of using that momentum to send me forward. But if I'm gonna sit up and have my legs straight and then bend them, that's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be difficult to get up from this position without using my hands. If I'm not kind of using, like this I can do, right? But the challenge is gonna be to sit up first and then get to standing from this position without using my hands, all right? So that to me is going to be the really difficult part of this. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so if you want to try this with me, let's go ahead. We're going to start down here on our mat. So coming down onto your back, you're going to extend your legs straight, extend your arms out to the side. And now sit up, clasp the hands together in front of you. You're going to bend your knees, place your feet flat on the mat, throw your weight forward and come to a standing position without using your arms to assist you. All right, we got that. So now we're gonna stand. Keep your hands clasped together the entire time. You're going to step your feet through one at a time. So bend down, you're gonna pick up one foot and step it through. Pick up the other foot, step through the arms, and now keeping your hands clasped together as you stand. And that's it, we did it. So I'm calling that a success. I think that was a successful mobility challenge, and I'm glad I kind of combined the two to make it a little bit more challenging. But if it's too challenging to do like that, you can just try one or the other and see if you're successful. If you were not successful, remember, warped wall rules. So that means that we get 3 attempts. As long as you are able to successfully complete this mobility challenge in 3 attempts, that is a win. Just like on American Ninja Warrior, when they get to the warped wall, they get 3 tries. So they try to get up the wall once and fall. They try it a second time and fall. If they fall on that 3rd attempt, that means they have failed the obstacle. But as long as they make it to the top by that 3rd attempt, that means they have successfully completed the obstacle and they have beaten that wall. So we apply the same rules to Monday mobility challenges. So if you did not get it on the 1st attempt, you get 2 more tries. If you did get it on the 1st attempt, let's go ahead and do it again anyway so that you can work on cleaning it up. So when you're ready, here we go. Attempt number 2, coming down onto the mat on your back. Extend your legs straight, extend your arms out to the side. Now sit up, clasp your hands together in front of you, bend your knees. You're going to come forward into this low squat position, keeping your hands clasped together the whole time. You're going to stand. Now step one foot through, step the other foot through, and keep your hands clasped together behind you as you come up to stand, and that's it. So what are we thinking so far? How are we doing? You guys let me know if you are struggling with this and which part of it you're struggling with. Let me know if that first part is difficult for you, the little sit-up part that those gymnasts couldn't do, that still is not computing for me. Let me know if the transition is what's holding you back, that little element that I threw in there of standing to kind of connect the 2 challenges, or maybe that final part of the challenge is what you're not getting. Where we're stepping through and then standing. So let me know which part of it you're struggling with, or let me know if you're not struggling with it and you found this one to be pretty easy. So if you did find it pretty easy, congratulations. If you still haven't gotten it, we're going to try it once more. So if you have already successfully completed the challenge, let's go ahead and do one more together in solidarity with those of us who are still trying to conquer this thing. All right, so again, if you already got it within the first 2 tries, you can work on cleaning it up. So if you're still kind of struggling to piece it all together, let's go ahead and try it once more. This is our 3rd and final attempt. So coming down onto your mat, all the way down on your back, extend your legs straight, extend your arms out to the side. Now sit up, clasp your hands together in front of you, bend the knees, place your feet flat on the mat and come forward into your squat position. Stand, keeping your hands clasped together. You're going to pick up one foot and step it through, pick up the other foot and step through, keeping your hands clasped together behind you as you stand, and that's it. We did it. So I'm getting it, but I do feel like I can definitely work on cleaning it up. As I'm standing, I do find that I am having the same issue that woman was having, where my arms are kind of like bumping into my booty cheeks and I'm having to kind of shimmy like my little booty through my arms. I'm still getting it, but I would like to see if I can clean it up a little bit. So I'm gonna try just a few more times so I can get it looking really, really good, and I can make my own little reel and share it on Instagram, and I'll share it to YouTube as well as a short. So if you were able to successfully complete this mobility challenge with me, well done. If you were not, keep working on it and see how close you can get. Maybe with a little more practice, you can figure it out. Like I said, I'm gonna keep working on it. I wanna clean mine up a little bit, but I was able to successfully complete it, so I'm good with that. Another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books. But that's it for today. So now I'm going to get some music going. I'm going to grab Victoria and I'm going to do 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. 20 minutes of interval jump rope, and then I'll go right into my stretching routine, which is about 30 minutes or so. So the additional cardio is completely optional, but whether or not you're adding on cardio after this workout, please make sure that you're taking the time to stretch. It's really important that you're stretching every single day. Right now, Immediately after the workout is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm. If you don't have time to stretch right now, that's fine. You can do it later on in the day. As long as you're getting it done at some point during the day, that's what's important. Just keep in mind that if you wait until later in the day to do your stretching, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you're going to need to take a couple of minutes to warm them back up before you jump into your stretching routine. But it's just really important that you're stretching every day. Taking the time to stretch is going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing. It is also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and it is going to improve your flexibility and your mobility. So please make sure that you don't skip your stretching. So let me know how you did. Let me know if you were able to successfully complete this mobility challenge. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. If you would like to see more workouts like this in the future where we are focusing exclusively on mobility exercises, let me know that as well because I'm happy to start including more workouts like this in the future. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, I know I went out of order, so I'm sorry if that caused any confusion. If you have questions about the format and how it all fits together, if you have questions about any of the specific exercises that we were doing today, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, please just ask. I'm always more than happy to help out. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, everybody loves my Swizzleberry Bobby. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, everybody loves my Swizzleberry Bobby. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.